Welcome to seminar presentation and a warm greetings to you, my lecturers and fellow students. I am Kwabena Boateng, presenting on the topic Teachers' Pedagogical Skills. Is there congruence of students, supervisors and teachers' self-assessment? Background of the study. The intent of any education is quality, and quality depends on the approach or the method of instructional process in the classroom. So teaching is key, and therefore there's a need for you to consider the needs of your students according to Black, that it involves a lot of activities, and therefore as a teacher you need to know the psychological makeup of your students so as to tailor your activities to meet them. Show them love, show them care, show them concern. It's a way to drive them on your focus to get them do the right thing that you expect them to do. Statement of the problem. We know assessment is key, and one way we do that is self-assessment, and it's an area we have not really explored much. In some cases, when supervisors come in to assess teachers, they don't look at the pedagogical skills of the teacher, the mode of delivery, the content, the knowledge of the teacher. They don't look at that. And therefore, there is an issue with regard to credibility and reliability. And again, research and for that literature has shown that there's not much knowledge where we bring these three people involved: teachers, supervisors, and teachers, to assess pedagogical skills of the teacher. And that is what this research seeks to unravel. Purpose of the study. The main purpose of this study, the focus of this study, is to seek and examine teachers' pedagogical skills from the viewpoints of students, supervisors, and teachers' self-assessment to ascertain where the views converge. The main objective is to assess teachers' pedagogical skills from the combined perspective views of teachers, students, and supervisors. Here, any research one carries out has to be based on quantitative or qualitative. And for this research I want to carry out, I want to adopt quantitative research approach. And a descriptive correlation design, I think, will help me enough to collect data and be analyzed using mathematical methods. Here, I want to talk about the area of study and how to get my sample of people I want to use as respondents. So my population here will focus on Lankwantanaing cluster of schools, and my sample size will be focusing on 50 respondents, of which 5 are supervisors, 15 teachers, and 30 being students. And the mode of selecting them will be simple random sampling for that of teachers and students, and that of the supervisors will be purposive sampling. Data collection and instrumentation. Questionnaires will be used and it will be self-administered. And then when we come to instruments, there will be well-structured kind of questionnaire which will be given to respondents to collect primary data. Ethical considerations. In life, anything we do has to follow certain protocols, certain standards. So with ethical considerations, I am going to seek permission from the University of Ghana, to be precise, Institutional Review Committee. I need to get permission from them to enable me carry out my research. Again, those schools I've mentioned earlier on, I have to give them letters indicating my intent, my purpose of carrying out that particular research. And another point is that the very people I'm going to rely on, the respondents, to give me some kind of information, we need to come into consensus, come into agreement, and then we sign a document indicating that whatever is binding in the contract arrangement is binding, and for that matter, nobody should use it for any selfish gain. I will also assure them of their confidentiality and anonymity, so that whatever data will be collected will be used for that particular purpose and nothing else. I will consult these authors to gather more information to enable me to carry out my research. Thank you very much for your attention.